Oh, I didn't see you guys there. What's up? What's up? What's up? I'm just vibing, chilling. What's up? 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 How y'all doing today? Long time no see. I'm currently at my mom's house, but I don't know. These things never really necessarily plan, but sometimes I just be feeling. I just woke up. Sometimes I just be like, I be having something to say. So first of all, we're gonna be reading something that I'm gonna be honest, personally, I've never read. Right? I've never read. I think I've like skimmed through it, but not like I've been like read it. Like, you know? So what we're gonna do today is we're gonna do some reading. We're not gonna waste too much time. We're gonna be reading the book of Nahum. Nahum. Assuming that's how you say that. I don't know for sure. I'm just assuming, you know. But we're gonna be reading the book of Nahum. Alright? Nahum 1. First of all, how are you guys doing? I'll give you guys a minute to answer. There's nobody here. But if you're watching this later, think about your where you're at in your life right now. But a prophecy concerning Nineveh, the book of vision of Nahum, the Elkoshai, right? The Lord's anger against Nineveh. Nineveh, that's the city Jonah was going to. The Lord is a jealous and avenging God. The Lord takes vengeance and is filled with wrath. The Lord takes vengeance on his foes and vents his wrath against his enemies. The Lord is slow to anger, but great in power. The Lord is slow to anger, but great in power. The Bible teaches us to be slow to anger. The man who is slow to anger is, I forgot how it goes, but I've read that before. The Lord is slow to anger, but great in power. That's a good representation of his grace. Because a lot of times, people could get misconstrued by the things of our world. And people say, oh, why does God allow this to happen? God allowed this to happen. God allows this. God allows this. But there's a very big difference between God's will, of what God wants, his will, what he desires for us, and what does happen. We do have free will, but sin is it's disgusting. Sin is disgusting, and it shows you here how the Lord is jealous, avenging, vengeance filled with wrath, take vengeance on his foes, vents wrath on his enemies. The Lord is slow to anger, but great in power. The Lord will not leave the guilty unpunished. The Lord will not leave the guilty unpunished. Realistically, just chill, okay? All right, my folks, just chill. Just chill. I be turned up on a million sometimes when it comes to and you know what, and that's why I be, trust when you need to read something, read it. Cause I'm a learner, right? I be like wanting to figure out what be going on in the world. That's my thing, right? And a big part of that is a big part of walking with your faith while being a learner at the same time is that sometimes it could feel kind of contradictory, like the skepticism is a attack on your faith or something like that. But what I've learned is that if you're using something external to secure your faith, that's where you kind of lose your faith. You understand? So, like, for instance, somebody not having the faith that the people who do the wrongs of this world would be taken care of, whether it's in our hands or it's not, because it's not in our hands. Like, I know people talk about the revolution. We need to do this. We need to do that. No, you don't need to do any of that. I don't think we need to start any more wars. I don't think the people in charge need to, I think every individual, everybody should be focused on, health is wealth and making sure your loved ones are safe. Okay. Do your own due diligence. Take care of your people. The Lord is slow to anger, but great in power. The Lord will not leave the guilty unpunished. His way is the whirlwind and the storm. His clouds are the dust of his feet. He rebukes the sea and dries it up. He makes all the rivers run dry. Bashan and Carmel wither, and the blossoms of Lebanon fade. The mountains quake before him, the hills melt away. The earth trembles at his presence, and the world and all who live in it. The earth trembles at his presence. Who can withstand his indignation? Indignation. Who can withstand his indignation? Indignation. So Junior does not know what indignation means. Mom, what does this word mean? What does this word mean? Indignation. You know where the dictionary is at, right? You're right, Mom. I do know where the dictionary is at. Okay, fine. I'll go find out what the word means. Mom, where you put the dictionary? Mom, where you put the dictionary? My mom actually isn't here. That's just like my mom voice in my head. But I don't even know where she put the dictionaries. I don't even know where the dictionaries are at. So indignation. We're just gonna Google it, you know? I don't know where the dictionary is. So we're just gonna Google it. Indignation definition. Indignant definition. Feeling or showing anger or annoyance at what is perceived as unfair treatment. Feeling or showing anger or annoyance to what is perceived as unfair treatment. So that tells me a lot of us are indignant. Here, I'm gonna let you guys see it as well. A lot of us are indignant creatures. A lot of people feel like feeling or showing anger or annoyance what is perceived as unfair treatment. I feel like a lot of people kind of live in this state because the world is not fair. The world is not fair. It is, but trust that the Lord will have the final say. Literally, just be faithful. It says it right here. Lord is slow to anger. So be patient. The earth trembles in his presence, the world and all who live in it. Who can withstand his indignation? Right? Who can endure his fierce anger? His wrath is poured out like fire. The rocks are shattered before him. The Lord is good, a refuge in times of trouble. He cares for those who trust in him. With an overwhelming flood, he will make an end of Nineveh. He will pursue his foes into the realm of darkness. Whatever they plot against the Lord, he will bring to an end. Trouble will not come a second time. They will be entangled among thorns and drunk from their wine. They will be consumed like dry stubble. From you, Nineveh, has one come forth who plots evil against the Lord and devise wicked plans. This that the Lord says, although they have allies that are numerous, they will be destroyed. And although they have allies that are numerous, here, listen, they will be destroyed and pass away. Although I have afflicted you, Judah, I will not afflict you no more. Now I'll break their yoke from your neck and tear your shackles away. The Lord has given a command concerning you, Nineveh. You will have no descendants to bear your name. The Lord has given a command concerning you, Nineveh. The Nineveh will have no descendants, as in like Okay, let me just read. You will have no descendants to bear your name. I will destroy the images and idols that are in the temple of your gods. I will prepare your grave, for you are vile. Look there on the mountains and the feet, the one who brings good news, who proclaims peace. Celebrate your festivals, Judah, and fulfill your vows. No more will the wicked invade you. They will be completely destroyed. Nineveh to fall. Dun, dun, dun. I don't know if like I don't know. Let me see something real quick. Uh, Nineveh to fall. 1 minute, chat. 1 minute. For me. For me. For me. For me. Hold on, chat. All right. All right. Nahum too. Hold on. Ooh. Ooh. Shit. Ooh. Excuse my language. Nineveh to fall. An attacker advances against you, Nineveh. Guard the fortress. Watch the road. Brace yourselves. Marshal all your strength. The Lord will restore the splendor of Jacob like the splendor of Israel. Though destroyers have laid them to waste and have ruined their vines, the shields of the soldiers are red. The warriors are clad in scarlet. The metal on their chariots flashes on the day they are made. The spears of juniper are brandished. The chariots from the storm. Chariots storm through the streets, rushing back and forth through the squares. They look like flaming torches. They dart out about like lightning. They dart about like lightning. Nineveh summons her picked troops, yet they stumble on their way. They dash to the city wall. The protective shield is put in place. The river gates open and the palace collapses. It is decreed that Nineveh be exiled and carried away. Her female slaves moan like doves and beat on their breasts. Nineveh is like a pool whose water is draining away. Stop, stop, they cry. But no one turns back. Plunder the silver, plunder the gold. The supply is endless. The wealth from all its treasures, she is pillaged, plundered, stripped. Heart melts away. Heart melt, knees give away, bodies tremble. Every face grows pale. Where now is the lion's den, the place where they fed their young, where the lion and lioness went, and the cubs with nothing to fear? The lion killed enough for his cubs and strangled the prey for his mate, filling his lairs with the kill and his dens with the prey. I'm lost, chat. I'm be honest with you guys. I'm gonna probably go back to the top. I'm against you, declares the Lord Almighty. I will burn up your chariots in smoke, and the sword will devour your young lions. I will leave you no prey on earth, and the voices of your messengers will no longer be heard. So, in the process of me reading that, um, I did kind of like my brain kind of did run off somewhere, and so like I was reading it, but I wasn't really reading it honestly. You feel me? So like, just give me a second. Nineveh to fall. An attacker advances against you, Nineveh. Guard the fortress, watch the road, brace yourselves, marshal your strength. So the Lord is giving witness or warning. The Lord will restore your splendor of Jacob, like the splendor of Israel. Destroyers have led them to waste. All right. So now we have the shields of the soldiers tracking. Chariots stormed through the streets. So this is a record of accounts. Nineveh summoned to pit troops. Dashes wall protective shield is put in place. The river gates are thrown open. Stop, stop. Pillage, plundered, strip. Hearts melt, knees give away. And where now is the lion's den? The place where they fed their young, where the lion and lioness went. and the cubs with nothing to fear. The lion killed enough for his cubs and strangled the prey for his mate. Mm. Woe to Nineveh! Woe to the city of blood, full of lies, full of plunder, never without victim. The crack of whips, the clatter of wheels, galloping horses, jolting chariots, charging cavalry, flashing words, glitter spears, piles of dead, bodies without number, people stumbling over the corpses. All of the wanton lust of a prostitute, alluring the mistress of sorceries, who enslaved nations by her prostitution and people by her witchcraft. I am against you, declares the Lord Almighty. I will lift your skirts over your face. I will show the nations your nakedness and the kingdoms your shame. I will pelt you with filth. I will treat you with contempt, and I will make you a spectacle. All who see you will flee and say, Nineveh is in ruins. Who will mourn for her? Where can I find anyone to comfort you? Are there better than Thebes, situated in the Nile, with water around her? The river was her defense, the waters her wall. Cushion Egypt, Upper Nile region. In Egypt were her boundless strength, put in Libya were among her allies, yet she was taken captive and went into exile. Her infants were dashed to pieces at every corner. Lots were cast for her nobles, and all of her great men were put in chains. You too will become drunk, and you will go into hiding. You will seek refuge from the enemy. All your fortresses are like fig trees with their first ripe fruit. When they were shaken, the figs fall into the mouth of the eater. Look at your troops, they are all weaklings of the eater. That's some interesting language. The gates of your land are wide open to your enemies, fire and consumed by the bars of your gates. Draw water for the siege, strengthen your defenses, walk the clay, tread the mortar, repair the brickwork. There the fire will consume you. The sword will cut you down, they will devour you like a swarm of locusts. Multiply like grasshoppers, multiply like locusts. You have increased the number of merchants till they are more numerous than the stars in the sky. Hold on, hold on. This sound like capitalism to me. I don't know, bro. Like that's just how my brain be working. That's how my brain be working. It sound like capitalism. You have increased the number of merchants, right? Because like think about America. This is a place of capitalism. Everything is for sale. Everything is for sale. Everything is for sale. You have to buy it. You got to buy to stay alive in America. You have increased the number of merchants till they are more numerous than the stars in the sky. But like locusts, they strip the land and fly away. Your guards are like locusts. Kind of sounds like ice, right? Your officials like swarms of locusts that settle in the walls of on a cold day. But when the sun appears, they fly away and no one knows where. Dun dun dun. Flock in chat. King of Assyria, your shepherds slumber. Your nobles lie down to rest. Your people are scattered on the mountains with no one to gather them. Nothing can heal you, for your wound is fatal. All who hear the news about you clap their hands at your fall, for who has not felt your endless cruelty? I ain't gonna lie, chat. Nahum being slow to anger, right? I need I'm gonna need that one for myself. I'm gonna need that one for myself. 1 second. You can buy a highlighter. You can buy a highlighter. All right, chat. I can't find my highlighter, but Nahum is a small book. That's probably why I haven't read it before in my Bible. But um, where we at with it though? Like just so I can pass it. Oh, right by Habakkuk. Tripping. Micah, come on. Come on. Micah. Come on. Micah. Nahum. There we go. Ah, these pages do get a little difficult sometimes. I would admit, I must admit. So because I don't know how, we're gonna give you with a nice fold right there. We come back to you during our private time. Make sure we come back to you during our private time. You feel me? But that's for me. That's for me later. This is for you guys. Yeah, y'all should read that because it wasn't even, you know. Ah, that just irritated me. What's up? What's up? What's up? All right, chat. I ain't really got too much else. I'm gonna let y'all go. Okay, I gotta get my day started. All right. Um, Dang, I'm thinking about that. I know I'm not necessarily like the best, I think, when it comes to communicating these things to people, but I don't know. I'm just trying. I feel like I'm so like, I think maybe I might not be the best at it right now, but give me some time, bro. Like if this all right, chat. Let's just I feel myself getting like overwhelmed or something. Let me open this Bible back up and see what I oh my days. Day of Atonement. All right, chat. I'm gonna let y'all go. Y'all have a good one, all right? Be easy, be safe. Stay easy, breezy, beautiful cover girl. I love the Lord always.